He has been in the playbook, preparing like a starter since the moment he arrived.
He's going to throw it here to start this game and take a long shot to the sideline, and it's broken up. He was looking for
that impact. He's got a chance if he continues to develop.
A handoff here to Jaden Lamar, who returns and adds some depth to the running back room. And he's got a first down pushed out of bounds, and that's an instant impact defender.
Yeah, watch his change of direction, slips a little bit, and then he just does what he's done his entire career at Purdue. And he has elevated the standard in that room in the secondary.
Novosad cuts it loose again, looking for more again, and more brought it in. 2025 class, they told us this week he's been as advertised, and we see it on display.
How about the end of it? The subtle nudge to separate. Right, watch his left arm just a little bit from the DB. Beautiful job getting away from the other transfer in Theron Johnson.
Theron Johnson in from Northwestern, and there's him on his team. He's taken two big shots to him. And he'll go back to the ground now for Lamar, who breaks into space and scores a touchdown. Last year for Oregon.
It's a beautiful job from Novosad. Watch him just hold on the fake. Read the edge defender. Going to be a give. Nice job blocking down by that offensive line. And Lamar does the absolute rest. Matthew Bedford there on the offensive line, blocking Westwood. Now he got to bide his time and take a run at this job as he drops back.
And he cuts loose, wide open Kenyon Sadiq. We're talking about a guy that Ducks coaches think could be one of the best players in college football this year.
Well, look, beautiful footwork and just effortless to flick it out there from Dante Moore. And then you're right in Sadiq. I mean, this is a guy who might have 80 touches this fall. They're going to find a variety of ways to get him the rock. Has a chance to be one of the most explosive players.
Yeah, this dude is really talented, and this team is lucky to have him.
There's Noah Whittington with the carry. Well, that's not a...
It's beautiful location on the ball. I think that's one of his biggest unique traits is the type of passer. Right there is a great example. You think it's an easy 5-yard completion, and Dylan Gabriel did in terms of the accuracy. Here's the throw. It's a great shot at it. Boom. Watch where the location of the ball. Right outside, easy catch. Any elements that go within that of navigating the line of scrimmage, etc. You see another drop back.
A little miscommunication there with Kyle Casper.
What's great about him now is that he really feels like a veteran. He's got command of this thing. And it's been great competition all spring between he and Austin Novosad.
And he stepped into that leadership role on third down here. With pressure, directing traffic, and did Noah Whittington keep his feet in?
Show Lalaulu, really the anchor of this offensive unit's mentality.
DeJuan Riggs, a redshirt freshman from DC. Here's World.
And then look at the center, Poncho 72, right in the middle of the screen. And blocking down his match in the Big Ten and in major college football. You're going to win in the playoff. You've got to be able to compete at the lines of scrimmage.
Pressure here up the middle, flushes Novosad out, and he throws it away. That was Terrence Green here at Oregon, and has just kept it rolling. One of the most disruptive players returning to the league, and that is snagged by Dylan Gresham, the redshirt freshman.
And Tosh Lupoy talked to him. He was very honest with them, very clear of there's no time for missed alignments. Like, you have to be, and they'll need to. They'll need to get off the ball and try to create a little havoc in the backfield.
Taking a hit and keeping on going. The 5-man pressure, and Novosad is able to get that one near the sticks. Jump
for the Ducks at that position with the addition that you just referenced in Johnson. You got some younger players as well. They're going to allow that line of scrimmage.
Novosad setting up the screen, and that gets sniffed out immediately. He was getting it to Zach Grace. And he's another guy that they say has been as advertised in the passing game. Novosad was looking his way, instead goes outside. And a
program. And then there was this era where there was a few different coaches that would just rotate every couple of years. When Dan Lanning got the job, again, he was an outsider. Those guys all, we want somebody who understands what we are about, what this region is about. I see Dante Moore. Up the location there. Out of bounds. 7 minutes with Dan Lanning, maybe 7 seconds. They were like, yep, he gets what we are all about. Look at what did they tell us on the field? They said, he's special, and they're pointing at Dan Lanning. He's a guy who really wants to be here. Glad he got gotten here. He's been here 15 years, guy. I mean, the standard just continues to rise.
Luke Moga, the freshman, first look at him, the quarterback, and he can't connect there with Cooper Perry.
Need to, with just tremendous confidence. Good opportunity from here in the pistol.
Oh, this is fun now. Mekhi Hughes, you saw him on the list of big-time transfers earlier from Tulane. That's the key for this young redshirt freshman. When you hear that about a quarterback, you know it means he's got the ability to make the special play.
Anchor of this offensive front.
Moga wants to throw again.
This is what he does right here.
Easy speed.
He's a rare
for the first
athlete.
down.
Guy, he's a 10-4, 100-meter lead. And look, every quarterback has their comfort zone, and I think for him, it's that athleticism. And here's a good look at one of the top transfers in the entire country, Mekhi Hughes.
10th in the nation in rushing yards last year, over 1,400 yards for Hughes, who gets tracked down by Mateo Uiagalelei.
See Naeem offered head-to-head. The two brothers, he's playing defense right now.
Moga puts it up, and it's broken up. Was looking for the tight end. 5-4 star, one of the top safeties in the nation. His dad, Richard McNutt, was on the
6'5", and the timing of the jump, when to make a play in the red zone. Here's another one.
And that is right into the hands of DeCorian Moore.
Today they'll set a new Oregon record. They set a record for the most players drafted in the first 2 days. The first 3 rounds of the NFL draft under Dan Lanning. Running back, they're going to have a role because they just continue to identify and then develop.
That pass is batted and still caught by Kenyon Sadiq.
In there was some sort of motivational piece to get these guys motivated and ready for the day. It's absolutely crazy. I didn't know a man could have that much good stuff to say. The day you slack off is the day you lose. And so when he said that, it hit me. You know, me being a married man, it's always on the line for me. So I had
won 3 champions, won 3 Super Bowls.
That's right. For a bunch of different teams there.
That's a great point. Brock Thomas is the quarterback for the first time on this drive for Oregon.
As a quarterback, walk-on turned starter.
He's a 3rd-generation Duck as well. He throws that through the hands of Jay Harris.
Keep an eye on Gary Bryant in the slot at the bottom of the screen. You know, Gary Bryant's story is one that's within this offense.
And a sack. And that's good pressure there. And telling us this guy's a superstar. He's as good as it gets. And he's seen some great football. That's a nice touch from Luke Mogan. You know Will Stein's going to be pleased with that throw.
It's an area that Oregon knows they have to replace after last season.
Moga taking a shot, and it is dropped by Malik Benson, and he could not hang on.
Well, this is a great route. The end of the route is really impressive from Benson. A little bit of competition, a little hand combat, and then at the end, watch his eyes, they go away from the ball. Can he be that replacement for Trayshawn Holden and all the productivity that he had?
Moga going back the other way, and it is caught. Wow. Right in the bucket. Dylan Gresham.
Talked about second-year players. He is one of them. You'll see it. And how about Luke Moga? Just 2 dimes back-to-back, saying, oh, yeah, I'm not just an athlete, I'm a passer, too. Elevating the competition. And Gresham also reminding people he's there. Really talented freshman class of wideouts. Nice play by him down the sideline.
And Johnson stride for. I mean, this is good coverage, isn't it, from Theron Johnson?
I love just the little things. The little things that they've done today are really impressive.
Moga, that is batted away. Ashton
Armin, we're off to the NFL.
Bear Alexander lined up there up against the left guard as Moga is on the move, and this time able to hang on is Malik Benson.
You know,
here's Lamar, and he is hounded, bottled up, and brought down.
They did a great job all year with welcoming me in, and then they opened up the holes for me, and I just do what I do.
And you did it. Oh, we have to get up out of there. We're coming back.
Both those guys put together. Bucky Irving, 1,000-yard rusher. He also caught 47 passes.
San Diego, his first appearance as a Duck.
They call him KJ.
Position. What you cannot develop necessarily is the size and natural ability that he has. You see it right there with a throw to his tight end.
He's really interested in, right? Because this is not a running clock. This is 2-minute offense, 2-minute operation. Wow.
Standing in the pocket.
And whistles. And he just flicks it.
Well, how about
complete to Jeremiah McClellan. Scrimmages, and it's part of what you're talking about, Yogi, just without a lot of playing experience. And there's a sack
against number 1 Bear Alexander.
Pressure, free up the middle, and a sack on Novosad, who had the IMG Academy in Bradenton, the 4-star. The Christian Gonzalez, he's not calling defense yet, but
that was a misread, I think, on the offensive line. Miscommunication there, just a free rusher. And so much of this right now to your.
And part of that, Yogi, is we don't know quite yet who the number 1 offensive line is, right? There's a couple position battles, particularly at right guard and right.
Thrust into different scenarios all season long with injury.
Novosad, good pocket that time. Benson has it broken up. Getting a hand in, or maybe two. Naheem offered, and the brother of Makai Hughes. And both of them having a good day so far.
Tell you what, it was the recovery speed that stood out to me. It looked like he was beat off the line of scrimmage, and that's why you field.
Moore gets tagged and tackled. And Dante Moore in the quarterback competition with Austin Novosad. You know, from the outside, everybody's saying, how can Dante Moore not win this job? But it is a competition. Justice Lowe.
Moore, little RPO. Is he going to hand it off? Baits the D tackle in and around the edge. He's not the athlete Luke Moga is. I mean, it's really impressive when you watch him play. Look at those feet right there as he drops back.
Kenyon Sadiq. Oh! Goes way up, and he gets the
leaping over defender on his way to an explosive play against Penn State. And this is just such a gifted athlete. Woo! Look at that.
And it may not be 104 this year, but Will Stein thinks that this guy can really do damage this year. He
learned from Terrence Ferguson how he's added some of his traits to his game.
Terrence Ferguson, who was a 2nd-round pick by the Rams.
To the mix. They got some nice depth there. Roger Saliapaga. Just some guys battling back from injuries.
Dante Moore with time, and now he checks it down to Dier Hill, the freshman, with his first touch of the spring game. Dante Moore taking a shot and overshooting Jurian Dickey.
The environment where you feel as though you got a shot, and a big part of that is the honesty from this coaching staff.
Oh. The ball comes out and it's picked up, scooped by Blake Purchase. He is racing. Dante Moore, the quarterback, gets stiff-armed. And Dante might be saying, wait, that's a tackle if you get to touch me and I'm down. But Purchase, it's a fumble return for a touchdown.
How about this? Ball comes out really late. We'll see it there. Oh, beautiful tackle from the young DB, and then the speed of Purchase pick it up, and away he goes. How about the end there? His range, I think, is beautiful for the NFL, and a record. Whew.
Well, that's, I mean, Noah Whittington, that's game.
A theme that continues on here for Dan Lanning as they continue to recruit and develop, and there's Noah Whittington. He chose to come on back. Became a father in the offseason. He goes, I want to be the kid when I'm at Oregon, the dad when I'm at home, and he's got a chance to be the bell cow in this offense.
Davis and Dier, this is literally probably one of the deepest rooms that I've seen. Anybody could be the guy within this offense at that spot.
The point, the competitive cauldron that's developed there is one where guys want to be a part of it, because they know if you play, you'll find your name called. You'll be one of the better backs in the Big Ten. Example of that in the back end. Only played 9 snaps last year. Watch him finish, run through the tackles. These feet, Cap said, it is proven to pay off in major dividends.
3rd down here for Moore, under pressure, and he gets sacked.
Yes. His athleticism, one of the top receivers in the country, top player in Arizona coming out of high school. Stay up-tempo. But there's a world, again, it's cyclical. We've seen him huddle. Oh, a little double pass.
And it gets whistled.
Oh, come on.
Not in a spring game. Joking at some trick plays today. Yeah. Actually, we do.
Yeah, look at down the sideline. There's freshman to freshman.
Brooks and Bucky Irving against Nick Aliotti and Christian Gonzalez. So maybe that's why the trick play came out. That is Cooper Perry with the catch and giving the offense the press elevator to get Yogi over there. That thing is cool.
So is that subtle move right there.
De'Aaron Hill. That is the front.
These guys have explosive ability. Watch this here on the edge. I think it's going to be a play in the backfield. Nope. Rush through your read, rush through the rush lane, and these freshmen did a nice job being patient today.
Dante Moore, patient, and then it's broken up. Getting a hand in there was. Hey, Kenyon, just start that point again. What were the coaches looking to see from you're talking about De'Aaron Hill?
Just teaching them to slow down, as you stated. It's what running backs should say: slow to, fast through. That's something that's happened.
Missed the entire season. You saw his excitement after making the play late on the ball.
Dante Moore this time with some touch and creating space. Jurian Dickey brings it down.
Right at the end of the route, just getting a little nudge. Watch his arm right there. Just a little nudge. You don't want to extend it. If you extend it, it's going to get called as offensive pass interference. Just a subtle tap, create a little separation. DB might say that wasn't so subtle. What a play down the field.
And look at the extra effort for the touchdown from Jay Harris.
There's Habibi Likio, remember him from back in the day. Same type of deal. Explosive play, up tempo, get to the line of scrimmage. Nice block from Sadiq, and how about the move right there? And then just leg drive. 1, 2 guys miss, run through a tackle. Jay Harris. You talk about the transfer portal.
The explosively talented redshirt freshman, and he gives it off to Dewan Riggs.
Rooting for Dan Lanning.
So pressure there, and Zach Grisham, who came on the pressure.
Order Mateo Uyunglele still at the top of your screen as an edge rusher.
Moga just throws that away.
I could take a ride in that to the baseball game, guy, afterwards.
I think seats are pretty limited.
Yeah, pretty limited.
Will Stein told us it is a hot ticket. Said he's always wanted a classic Bronco. And it turns out the company that makes these classic Broncos, Achilles Smith Jr., and totally modifies them.
Cool mix. It's why he's one of the most popular coaches, I think, in the country. And really, he took a lot of the oxygen, I think, in.
Could you never called a game before? What kind of impact? And you're right. He's gone quickly from one of the best young coaches in college football to just without the quality. You make me think back last year, that the great internal kind of YouTube. They are using regular season headset communication rules where the clock or the headset cuts off at 15 seconds. A throwback complete. California.
Well, how about this? Number one, it's third down. Watch him climb the pocket, feel the rush, and then do what you often don't recommend. Throw velocity and the unique traits that Achilles Smith Jr. has showed up right there to the other freshmen.
Well, you talk about in the huddle, all those sorts of things, and he says it's been a real asset for them this year.
Yeah, I think it's one thing to get that view. Now, that's the toughness part. Take and handle the coaching.
Smith steps up and gets sacked. Defensive line, because now they can watch themselves from a different angle than they ever watch from. Nick Aliotti, the legendary defensive coordinator.
I'm hoping we can finish this thing out up 7 with 9 minutes to go, because I still want to win. It doesn't matter what kind of game it is. I want to win.
Well, listen,
and became better players by the time they left. And his impact, see a little sack there in the back for him. We've talked about Theron Johnson throughout the day in the back end.
And Jadon Kennedy also on his third school. You saw his name on that list from Tulane. His feet left after Nick Saban retired.
So size, ability, veteran experience.
Moga, that one goes sailing behind. And making a tough catch. That's Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end.
Down the field on a deep crossing route. You see it coming right to left. He's looking like a wide receiver, flexed out as a tight end. Doesn't trip. Gets tripped up a little bit. The athleticism, the ability to stay up. It's worthy. It's worthy. He should be a preseason All-American candidate.
Pressure and a sack.
He's such an impressive individual and clearly been dramatically productive coaching the majority of this defensive line.
There's Sadiq again, and he puts a shoulder in. Credit to Aaron Flowers.
Offense. And they're finding ways to get Kenyon Sadiq the rock in space. He's a true tight end. Here's look at the end of it. Shoulder down. Great contact right there.
Aaron, go right, Aaron, go right.
Brock Thomas setting up the trick play. It's Jeremiah McClellan into traffic. A flag comes in. They're trying to get it. There's a lot of reasons people don't want to play spring games. One thing they don't want to do is put out tape, which means that anything you put on tape, like a trick play, is intentionally
Yeah, you got to practice against it.
on tape.
Yeah. Like, look at you with the theories. Draft weekend, you got theories all day.
I tell you, I do love a.
Based on the situation.
Sadiq's in the slot. Thomas, good protection. And throws complete. That is caught.
That's impressive. Thomas put in the only place he can. Front shoulder roll. Mount upcoming.
And the Combat Ducks take the lead.
I like the aggressive approach.
In the last 2-10.
Helping this offensive front.
Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
Emmanuel Pregnon, the transfer from SC.
Different than last year for this team. They take a shot.
And a flag comes in. That ball was caught out of bounds.
To back, you see this in the regular season all the time. You'll see this at the top of the screen. Luke Moga's been impressive. Deep balls down the field. Yeah, and that's a classic for a young DB. You got to turn and look. You got to turn and look. If not, it's going to be called every single time. Another great coaching opportunity for Tosh Lupoi.
You know, this is a moment for this offense and this defense to get some work. And look at what they do. They get it into the hands of DeCorian Moore, the five-star freshman.
With $1:30 left.
Luke Moga throws complete. That's Gresham. Gresham is free, and he puts the Fighting Ducks back on top.
But you see the replay, it's Cooper Perry, 17. Watch him run the slant. He opens up that second window on the slant. And why do you call slants? Not for conversions to get a first down, but you throw slants to score. And Gresham takes this one to the house.
56 yards for the score. Redshirted last year, the four-star recruit in 2024, and a big moment here in the spring game.
Yeah, and again, look at the slot. Cooper Perry, the heralded freshman, recruited wideout. He opened it up. Will do.
Dante Moore moving the pocket, finding space, and hitting Kyle Casper for a big gain out to midfield.
That was impressive. Reads his progression. Watch, you think he's going to go high to low. Says, nope, let me throw to a man on the run. Perfect location. Guys, how to navigate the rules within the confines of the 2-minute drill.
Strong tackle from Will Stratton. Moore gets it out quickly to Sadiq, who's tackled inbounds by Aaron Flowers. And
He's the tick, calls out the play.
Third down. And his arm gets hit as he throws. It goes sailing. Here, let's see where he gets hit.
Ooh,
that was pretty close to the hand.
yeah, lucky. Everything is all right in that regard, but here we go.
Sadiq is at the top, and Dante Moore is looking the other way, and will just heave it into traffic, and it's intercepted by Aaron Flowers, and he'll go down.
And that is, I think, how this one.
Green and yellow, green and yellow, green and yellow. You know